Hi, Dennis. It's Brad Griffin, and over halftime, I thought I would make a quick video for you. And I hope that this video may be exhaustive, but like I said, I'm just farting around here in halftime, and I'm gonna do one take only, and let's do this one. And let's see if we can't get you fixed up here. After reading, as I'm loading these up, that'll work. As I'm loading these up, I'm reading over the comments there. Hey, Ireland, that'll work. I'm looking over the. I need that open. I'm looking over the comments there, and I'm also looking at what your site has. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, big. Nope, 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 nope. Ah, crap. All right. So I'm going to guess that those tests are done. And let's look at this theme real quick. There it is. Okay. So the first thing I notice here is that this theme author is, or this theme itself, it's fairly new. Usually it's best to run with a theme that's at least 2 years old, because that way you have a history of reliability with the theme. I don't normally get themes from ThemeForest, but sometimes it happens. Over the past 7 years, I think the only two people I trust are the Total Theme from WP Explorer, AJ, over at WP Explorer, and the X Theme from Kyle Wakefield and his team. So here's all the premium plugins, and we can see that over here. We've got the Visual Composer Extension Bundle. We want our YouTube videos to open in a Lightbox. We've got the Core Visual Exposure, Visual Composer, Contact Form 7, the Essential Grid, and listen, I ripped these guys a new one. I don't know, it was a couple of months ago. I ripped them a new one on Twitter because it's a big company and their plugin was horribly written. After a bit of encouragement publicly, they did do a rewrite of their plugin, and they came out with an update that had significant changes in the plugin itself. But we'll get into that in a second as well. We've got the FooBox Image Lightbox Instagram feed. I'm guessing that cannot be cached, or maybe it can. I don't know. But then we've got good old Rev Slider Event On for the calendar. Easy Social Share Buttons, which I know can be cached. And then we've got Photo Nav. Never heard of that one. Ouch. Let's see what that one looks like. And then let's look at, we got the daily view for the event on display. MailChimp for WordPress from Senior Danny Van Tooten. Danny Van Kooten, that's right. Good plugin. And then we've got LMM. LMM. Massive menu. Mega menu. Awesome. Is that one of the bundled? Yep, there it is. Ouch. Okay, so first, wow, that's rough. So, listen, the first thing off the bat that I want to tell you, Dennis, is that every one of these plugins right here is going to, okay, so the theme author goes out and they buy the extended license for all these different plugins. Okay, fine. So they have the extended license, which means they have the right to resell this and package it in their theme. Now, when I see this, the first thing I always think is, what the heck is in the actual theme itself? Because watch, this is what I'm looking at here. You're looking at a theme, right? You have a slider, a composer, a lot of other stuff for the composer, for the page layout. You have something for the menu. So what is the theme itself? Like, that's what I never understand about these people that do these sell these things like this. And the other thing you have to worry about, Dennis, is that every one of these plugins that's been resold, that is now the complete and total requirement of Web Invader to update your installation with all of these other ones. So if there's a vulnerability in, say, Revolution Slider, where did all those go? If there's a vulnerability, some kind of a security issue with Slider Revolution, they have to push out the fix. And then the theme author has to push out the fix as well. Same thing across the board. Visual Composer, Ultimate Add-ons, extensions, this menu plugin, easy social share buttons, all of these things. Okay? Which is rough because you're creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dependencies just, and we haven't even started talking about the speed. So logistically, you've got to update your installation and make sure that every one of these have no conflicts with anything at all on your site anywhere, or it could break. That's a bad position to start with. Nothing against all these plugins, but when they all become dependent on the theme author, because look, this guy went out and bought an extended license, okay, just like you can get an extended license for these right here. This guy went out and bought an extended license for all of these different plugins. We're going to build the page. We're going to make a slider. We're even going to add a plugin for the menu. What the is the theme itself anymore? So at the top, you've got a menu for you've got a plugin for the menu. On the page layout, post layout, anything else, you've got plugins, Visual Composer, add-ons, extensions, whatever else you want to include. That's what I never get about these plugins. I mean, these themes. So now let's get into the actual speed part of things. Okay. Well, I don't envy people that do that. Okay. Okay, so this is one. So these guys go out and they buy an extended license for easy social share buttons, and then they bundle these with their theme. Okay. Same thing with, let's take another one. Visual Composer. Okay. So these theme authors, they go out and they say, I'll buy an extended license. And they throw it in their theme, and it's all dependent upon you know, when does DT Baker update this? And then Web Invader then has to upload that new version into their theme and whatever customizations they've done for their theme, and then push it out to you. Wow. Okay. All right. Same thing. Well, this one's open too. Let me just show it how they do this. They get an extended license that says you can put it in their themes, and then they resell all of that to you for a whopping special offer of $49. Wow, that's just the coolest GIF in the world. Oh my goodness, hold me back. Okay, anyways, so before you even start, holy cow, you're behind. There's a lot of dependencies there on everything to work right. Okay, fine. So let's deal with that. Man, I should shave. It's Sunday. I'm not shaving. Let's get into the speed. So we're looking at, now I wish I could do another video and just scream at the top of my lungs, stop looking at this side of the page on GT metrics. What you want to look at is this side right here. Okay, everything over here. Your goal is to get this number down, the size, and then how long it takes. Okay, fine. So how do we do that? Well, when we go down here, we can see that all of these images are huge. Okay, let's say this one right here. This image, yay, field hockey image. This image is so big, it takes up more of my screen than possible. It is exactly 2,592 pixels wide by 1,936 pixels tall. Holy snot. That is huge. There's nobody's monitor, nobody. I don't care if you have a Mac Retina Pro, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's monitor is that big. Okay? So when you go through here, it will tell you, hold on, why are all of these images so freaking, here's another one. Hello, ladies. Hello, man. Dude. I like dude tattoos. And I like bald heads. Hello. Hola. But the damn thing is still huge. It's gigantic. This image is huge. And so to serve those, you know, where is this image even used at? Where is it used at? Is it a background? Is it a... Nope, here it is. Okay. So let's look at this right here. This is how big the image... This is what the image is sitting in. Okay? That image is sitting in a container that is 472 by 354. So 472 wide, and we're looking at an image that is, where did the shaved head go? There he is. So we're looking at an image that is 4,016 pixels wide by 2,681 pixels tall. That image needs to be resized significantly. That's an understatement too. Every one of those needs to be resized, and with, if I'm not mistaken, is that the essential grid that's, yes, overlaying those, yes. If the essential grid is not overlaying those correctly, which they may still not be doing that, then you have to go in there and say, look, I'm either going to ditch this plugin or I'm going to rewrite these myself with a 1, 2, 3, 4 column and an overlay of a search icon. Okay? The Essential Grid plugin is if it's not picking, if the Essential Grid plugin itself, listen very carefully. If whatever plugin you're using is not going to say, okay, site maker, what size do you want? Do you want the large, medium, small, thumbnail, original? If the plugin itself doesn't ask you that, then you need to ditch the plugin. Ditch it. Get rid of it faster than you can watch this long drawn out ass video. Get rid of that damn plugin, and real simple, just make a div. 1, 2, 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. That's it. You're done. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay? So you've got, what are these? We'll get into... We'll get into that right now. These right here are going to kill any type of load time. These need to be a couple of ways to handle this. You can either download it, re-upload it with the SSL. That'll fix that. Or you can do force SSL on your server. Let's go this route. Where's the inmost? There it is. All right. So the first one you don't want. The second one you do. Yada dee. There it is. This one right here. That's the one you want, and that's going to say, okay, everything from Ireland Bootcamp whatever.com. I want you to now go over the SSL. Okay. Or again. Now that you have the SSL installed, delete them and re-upload. That's another option. Silver Hat IE. What is silverhat.ie? .io. This is also why you may not have it done for $100, because this stuff takes a okay. I don't know what that is. Okay. Oh shit, maybe that's your site. I don't know. Anyways, this is also why it. And the Bootstrap framework is not loading because it's just straight up not there. Not sure why. All right, so let's keep going then. All right, so the errors are going to slow you down because every time my browser calls the website, or my browser, everybody's browser, mobile, tablet, anything is calling the website says, the browser says, yo, go get this website. The website comes back with, hey, we don't know where all this stuff is. And it's going to take us a while to tell you that we don't know where this stuff is. So that kills your speed as well. Let's keep going. Beyond the images. To fix the images. Let's see which one I want to tell. Hold on. Let me think out loud. I make WordPress sites for small businesses. Okay, so if you're going to hand these off to somebody else, let's see if this will bring it up. All right. Here's a plugin I want to show you. Is it this one or EW? Okay, here we go. Your goal here is to make sure that whatever the client uploads doesn't get huge and over the capacity of the site. So if this is a full width site, you want somebody to say, okay, on your uploads, if you want to take a photo from your Sony Canon SLR DX490 P90X 14 gigabyte camera, fine. It's 4,000 pixels wide, but every time you, the client, upload this, I want you to take that and squish that image down to 1,300 pixels wide. That's what this plugin right here will do. It will also go backwards. So anytime the client uploads something, it will automatically squish it back down to whatever size that you've specified. Yada-dee. Here we go. I hate that. And here's the key, well, one of the key screens that you'll need to set. Anything uploaded within a page or a post, I want it to fit within, let's say if this is a full width, I always recommend fixed width sites. But if this is a full width, meaning it will, if I go on this screen right here is a 27-inch monitor, it's going to fill up the whole thing. If I run over here to this monitor, it will fill up 22 inches. If I go on my laptop, it'll fill up 15 inches. If I go to my tablet, you know, whatever. It will always stretch to be the full width of the screen. So that means that, yes, your images are going to have to be, especially if they're back, where's the background? Yada-dee. This one right here. So this image right here, that's the background image of Ireland's leading instructors. That image will have to be background cover, yada-dee. That means that that image right there will have to be somewhat sizable, but hold on, that does not mean that it has to be, again, it's bigger than a 27-inch monitor. That is huge. 2506. If you put in when, hopefully when, you put in this, you've got to make sure that none of your images are ever bigger than, I'll say, who the hell has a 27-inch monitor except me and a few other people? Let's say your images are never larger than 2,000 pixels wide. But again, you know, again, Dennis, if there's a setting in this particular theme that will let you, who knows? If there's a setting within this theme that will let you say, I want it to be a fixed width. Fix your width to something like, you know, 1,500 pixels wide. Then you can set how big those images are. That's the problem with the fluid layout, is that you can never, ever, ever set how big those images are, especially for something like a background image, because it's going to take up the full width. You see where I'm going with that? Oh, good God, we've only touched on the images. So that's the size of the images, the optimized images. You can always compress them as well. God, I hate plugins. I mean, I don't hate them, but why is that? Oh. So to squish them, you've got tiny PNG, you've got several. Imagify is off. Well, it's not. It's a paid API. But again, the other option that I always use is simplepaint.net. If you've never heard of it, I would encourage you to look for it. Completely free, completely open source. Getpaint.net. Okay, the reason I say that is because watch what I'm about to do. As soon as this opens here, and I've got too many things running, obviously. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to take paint.net, and I'm actually going to do it as we speak. Where did the gigantic image go? What's this? Going to put this in here. Okay. I'm going to copy the image. I'm going to switch over to paint.net. I'm going to paste it. Obviously, the first thing I'm going to do is resize it. Okay. But then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say maintain aspect ratio 1200. Okay. File. Save as. Now, when I go to save it, let's call this dennis.png. Okay, fine. Here's where I find my options. I want to say, okay, wait a minute. There's my image right there. How do I want to save this? And I want to look up here at the file size, 486 kilobytes as of right this second. What happens if I choose 24, 495? What happens if I choose 8, 341? What happens if I change this? What happens if I change this? It's a PNG, right? So I'm looking at about 341, 486. Now, let's say cancel, and let's say file, save as, JPEG. We'll call it Dennis. And again, what paint.net says is beforehand, now it's only 262. But what do we want the quality to be? Well, that's horrible. How can we reduce this one? So now we've gone from something that is, well, I don't remember what it was, 50, but now it's 54 kilobytes, and the image looks just the same as what it did before. And it's only 54 kilobytes big. All right. Let's back all this up. And let's say it was 10.3 meg to start with. A, holy shit. B, holy shit. So we went from 10.3 meg to, what did we say it was? You know, only a few, what, 54? Anyways. So again, that's why, you know, doing this for every image across the board, you know, that's something somebody's going to, I like to keep them under 100, so let's say 90. So if we say, okay, you know, $100 or something like that, you got to go all the way across the board for every image, and be very careful because the plugin is going to do it on a somewhat universal level. Some of these you don't want to be completely squished to a specific size. All right, so that's your the issue there with some of the images. Again, that's the line item right here. You don't. Not only do you want to serve a an image that's the right size, you know, for a screen, but you also want to serve an image that is compressed and not full of EXIF data. You know, who, what camera, where, you know, different crap like that. But then you also want the quality of the image to be web ready. It's not going on a fucking billboard. You know, it's going on a website. So that's the other thing you got to fix. And then Yeah, see, and this is when you get into all the plugins and things like that. It's almost a half-hour video, and I'm sure the Cowboys are playing again. But this is, and that can be cached as well. This is where you get into the fact that the plugins add all kind of JavaScript, and it really becomes an issue when you look at it and you say, holy cow, that's all the JS files that are needed just to make this. I mean, we're looking at, if this was done with the Revolution slider, then, you know, you're looking at the fact that this Rev slider is doing nothing. It's not even sliding. So hopefully that wasn't done using, it was. Okay. I mean, if there was an image if there was a section up here that slid, that moved or something like that, you know, that's simply a hero image. Well, that's the same thing as just outputting an image with text and a button over it. You know, centered, line, text, button, play video. That's an image. And in the background, though, at the same time, Dennis, you've got the Revolution slider loading all of this stuff, you know, just to display this one image. That's rough. It really is. And so you've got, there it is, the video light box, you know, all these different things going. Okay. Let me stop on there. Ultimate Visual Composer add-ons, event on, and all of these things are loading on the front page. Okay. That's fine, but can that be cached? This is on your server level to enable that for those two files. This one right here is a big deal. I'm not sure why it's coming from silverhat.ie. I don't know why we need the background to come from a whole different server. The Twitter, connect via Facebook, Google Maps, and then there's Twitter again, and the Google Analytics. All right, I'll be done in just a second. So leverage browser caching for all of these things involves, the correct way to do it is to self-host them. I'm not going to get into that because apparently the Cowboys are playing again and the wife wants me. So we've got the same contents coming from two different places. So Pretty Photo is coming from the theme, and then Pretty Photo is also being called from that's that plugin. Okay, so we've got two different resources there that should be coming from the same place. Instead, they're coming from, it's saying, hey, you know, honey, I need to go get some eggs. Hey, honey, I need to go get some eggs. What the hell? You just told me you need to go get some eggs. Go get the freaking eggs. You need one set of eggs, right? Yeah. So why are you telling me twice? I thought I would just tell you twice that I needed eggs. Well, the second call is a waste. And again, I haven't even touched on. Okay, let me see if I can go through this one real fast. I can't. Let's see here. Obviously, the images are huge. Let's go through and see if I find any big major ones that we can knock out. That should never happen because if you're not using the JSON API, then remove it. and remove the calls as well. I tell that to everybody all the time. You're waiting 2 seconds for an image. But if you're not using the JSON API, then get rid of it. That photo is... That's that same photo again for that we have to wait on to load for 2.5 seconds. Let's see if there's any other Facebook events. We need to self-host that. Same thing for the Instagram API. That's definitely not helping at all. Let's see what else. Facebook, and then Google Maps. At least Google Maps is smart enough to load last. But again, from this we get the same thing. All of these right here need to be combined. How would I tell somebody like you to implement this? No. You know, I want to say this is your best option right here. This minute, along with minute. Along with that, and a few others. But again, that's a matter of installing something from GitHub. I would not, wholeheartedly would not recommend Better WordPress Minify. Nothing against the guys, but most of the time when people put this on their sites, it'll break it before you know it, and then you are stuck with what it does. Again, people love to rave about this. Unfortunately, they don't rave about, oh shit, my site's broken. What do I do now? Your best options are over on GitHub, and again, you know, so what your goal is to combine all of these into one feed, into one JSON file or JavaScript file that says, okay, back to the illustration of, honey, I go to the grocery store. Okay, what do you need? I'm going to run to the grocery store and I'm going to get eggs. Okay, I'm going to run back to the grocery store after getting home. And then she says, I need bread. So I'm going to run back out and get bread. Then after I come back with the bread, she's going to tell me, hey, I need tortillas. So I need to run out and get tortillas. Then after I get tortillas, she's going to come back home. Then she's going to tell me I need milk. So I have to go run back out and get milk. Then after I get milk, come back home. Then she's going to tell me, oh, wait, we need pull-ups. So I'm going to run back out and get pull-ups. Then I have to come back home. Then after I come back home, she tells me I have to go out and get cereal. So I have to go run back out and get cereal. Then whenever I get back home, you see where I'm going with this? That's what's happening right here. As opposed to what she could say is, honey, run to the store. Here is what I need in one set of, it's a list. It's one piece of paper. Here is everything I need in one piece of paper. It may have multiple things on it, but she's telling me to go get something in one set of instructions. So what your goal here is to minify, well, not minify, combine and minify all of this stuff. Along with all of these, you know, all these different plugins are loading their own CSS files. That is not good to have each one of these being loaded, you know, from all these plugins. That's let's see, that's 39 times. Listen carefully, Dennis. That is 39 trips I have made to the store and back. where I could have had the list from the word go and gotten everything from the browser to the server, or from the server to the browser in one trip. Instead, this thing is sitting here making 39 of them. Damn. Nothing short of damn. That's a lot. You can prefetch those, or you can load, let's say this one, definitely Google, definitely this one, and definitely Facebook's. Facebook's Connect JS is what connects you to Facebook. Let somebody, log in or whatever. Remove query strings from static resources. That is simply a matter of a plugin. Hold on. Remove query strings from static resources. And bada boom, bada bing. There's the plugin for that. Again, I would rather do it via code and not via a plugin. To each his own. I hope that helps. Leverage browser caching. That is in. Still not sure why we're. Anyways, that is done within the htaccess file, as well as this one right here, and this one it's for something offsite. Yes. So real quick, I'll say something about offsite resources. Your goal is to serve as much as you can from within your site. So what that means on just a very, I guess, easy to explain level. If the boss lady says, okay, I want you to go to the store and I want you to get, all this stuff. Every time I go to the store, if I have to go get gas, run back and forth from the store, get gas again, run back and forth from the store, get gas again, run back and forth through the store. Now I need tires. I'm going to go put a tire on the vehicle and take the tire off. Then I'm going to go put the tire back on the Suburban, then take the tire back off. Then I'm going to go, put a steering wheel on the car. And then I'm going to take the steering wheel off, then I'm going to put the steering wheel back on. So all of these external resources like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, AdRoll, Google Analytics, Google Ad Server, all of these things are external resources. A lot of times I see people that use them a lot because it's a heavily trafficked site, and so they really do rely on these for advertising, things like that. It happens, but the point is to see which ones, and you got to know which ones you can serve independently of your site. So from within your site, you can take that call from your site that says, hey, Facebook, I need the Facebook Connect JavaScript. I need that file. Well, how often does that file change? If it doesn't change very often, you can self-host it and then run a cron job to say, do I need new tires? Do I need new tires? I don't need new tires every time I go to the store. So that self-hosted file is then going to say, okay, wait a minute, I don't need to go ask Facebook for their external JavaScript. I don't need to go ask Twitter. I don't need to go ask Pinstagram, whatever, all these different things for their external files. I can now combine those and load them from my site. Now I can cache them, I can minimize them, and I can have a simple cron job that says, hey, do I need new tires? Nope. Okay, let's keep on trucking down the road. Let's keep on loading this site. I don't have to wait on, I need to go get the Twitter. I need to go get the Facebook. I need to go get the AdRoll. I need to go get the Google Analytics. I need to go get the DoubleClick JavaScript. Things like that. But again, you have to know which ones and know what the correct cron job time is, because some of these are updated, every couple of days. Some of these have not been changed in years. That is going to be significant. I think that's about the largest thing that I can go over there for you. Again, Dennis, this is. I've got 2 sites that have survived being on Shark Tank. You know, P3 Profiler is good. Let me just run through these real quick. Definitely change host, gzip already enabled. Well, yeah, you would want to host with that, but you know, it doesn't matter what host it is. I can put something on Cloudflare and remove the host from the picture in a heartbeat. You know, if you're using the infamous WP Engine, or if you're using Bluehost, you know, once I throw something up on Cloudflare, all that goes to piss. I don't care what host it is anymore. Yeah, whenever Nick says putting it on SiteGround won't give it a magic touch, he's right, and very accurate, because it's not just the host that matters. It does, don't get me wrong, but there's a whole nother aspect of it. Let's see here. Mike wants to take a look at it. Okay, that's fine. I like these groups, because then you get to see publicly. You know, when somebody asks for help, I do believe in publicly giving help back as well. So, which is what I'm trying to do. Nothing against the, you know, private messages or anything else, but Meng Lee says way too much plugins. I've got sites running 80, 90, 100 plugins, and it doesn't matter. It never has, it never will. The number of plugins still doesn't matter. It's what they do and what you do as well. Like on the, let's say, the CSS. You know, if you combine all that CSS into one file, one list, basically, and your site can then say, okay, you know what, I need all these. Maybe you don't need them. But I do need all of this stuff. But more importantly, I'm going to say what I need to the server one time. CDN, you know, that can always be nice, helpful. But again, even if the content delivery network has to serve an image that is 10 times the size of what it should be, you're still asking that content delivery network to send a file that is 10 times as big as it needs to be to my browser. I can't imagine what this thing does on, oh, you know, we didn't look at. I can't imagine what this thing does on the phone. And, you know, the worst part that I hate when people do this. I just want to kick them in the lovingly remind them. Optimizing the home page is, I've got to say, got to be one of the dumbest things in the world. If you decide to tweet something, if you put something on your Pinsta, Twitter, Gram, whatever, most people don't land on your Mind Body Online. Why doesn't this thing have WooCommerce bookings on it? Yeah, okay, anyways. Next post. Anyways, somebody's probably going to land on, somebody's probably not going to land on your homepage. Don't get me wrong. They will go back to your, give me something with some meat on it. Somebody will go back to your homepage, yes. Will they land on your homepage? Probably not. That's what most of these speed people fail to mention, or the comments on a Facebook group or whatever. You know, your homepage, your homepage, your homepage, your homepage. Who the homepage? You know, if I share, okay, so I'm in Ireland, laddie, or whatever, however you say Ireland, howdy, whatever. I'm in Ireland, okay? So I'm going to tweet this to somebody. Wow, I am a chunky fellow with a dad bod. I want to take the 30-day platinum challenge. And I want to, gosh, I would love to drop a dress size. Because have you seen me in a dress? It's not pretty. So I'm gonna go share this. Okay. Now all of my friends that click on this, are they going to the homepage? No, they're going to this post right here, right? They're going to this post. So 90% of the time, you know, optimizing the front page is it's good to do, but it's not a priority, and it should never be a priority, and too many people fail to say, optimize your blog post page, optimize your WooCommerce product page, optimize the speed of your About Us, your Contact Us, things like that. That's what matters. Pardon my harping on that, but that is a huge deal that seems to be completely and totally, you know, repetitively unmentioned, is that, you know, you got to get your other pages more than just your home page. You know, somebody's not going to land on your home page if they Google, I'd like a 30-day challenge for a boot camp in Ireland. They're going to land on this page right here. So all of those speed tests and all of that crap, you know, everything I just said, that was for the home page. What happens when somebody lands on this page right here? That's a big deal. If we go put, I'm not even going to go over these, 20 and a 6. How the... I didn't know you could get a 6. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I didn't know you could get a 6. Anyways, so, you know, let's go see what happens when we put, you know, a blog page in there. That's it, and then I'm going to go back and watch the game again. That's a big deal, a huge deal. You know, it really is. It really is a big deal where. Dennis, it really is a big deal where, you know, the actual site optimization happens. So there we got 8 seconds. Again, you know, you can see all the stuff here. And then we're getting a 5.1, 7.1 meg for the whole blog post, and 181 trips to the grocery store. And web page test is going to take a while. Okay, so anyways, I hope that helps. I hope it's a blessing. And I do hope that... Why is there not even a minified version of this? So in this plugin, they don't even put a minified version of the JS. Anyways, Dennis, I know that's been a long video, and I'm going to go back and watch football now. Happy Sunday. Happy coding. Hope that helps. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to ask. All right. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.